Hello, it's Michael Halper with Sales Scripter, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to create a sales script for selling residential real estate. And this is a script that I worked with a Sales Scripter customer, and we created this script for contacting homeowners and trying to get them to hire us as their real estate agent to help them sell their home. Now, this script that I created with that Sales Scripter customer, I'm able to share with you in this YouTube video and in the Sales Scripter software because I provided my consulting services free of cost in exchange for that customer donating what we came up with together to the Sales Scripter library and to this YouTube channel. And our sales script creation process and brainstorming process starts with the product that you sell. And of course, in this case, we're talking about residential real estate. And when thinking about what it is that you sell, I like to sort of brainstorm what is included with that in terms of features. And I know features sounds kind of weird when talking about being a real estate agent, but I like to think of what you do or what you sell as being a box. And what is included in that box when someone works with you or someone buys what you are trying to sell. So this real estate agent, when she works with her clients, she will help them to list their properties for sale. She'll help with staging and photography. She'll help to develop pricing strategies. She'll help to manage marketing activities. She'll help with the paperwork and legal documentation. And she'll help manage contract and price negotiations. And then I always like to try to identify how are you different from the competition. And so with this real estate agent, we talked about that she'll spend more time with her clients to educate them through the process to make sure that they are comfortable and making the best and most informed decisions, and that she's focused on building strong and long-term relationships with her clients. And whether or not those are perfect differentiation points for her, of course, your differentiation will likely be unique to you, but maybe you can get some ideas from what I came up with this particular customer. The next step in the process is to try to identify who are we targeting with this sales script? Who are we going to be communicating with this sales script? And for this sales script, we're targeting homeowners that are looking to sell their homes. And as you can see, if we change this target audience, our sales script will totally change. If we change this audience to commercial businesses or commercial tenants or people looking to buy homes, the sales script totally changes. So this is a really important step to go through. And then the next step is to try to think about, okay, well, when we sell that product or service to that target audience, what are some improvements that they can see that they can realize? And our goal here is to think of maybe 3 to 6 different improvements. And this can be a challenging step, especially thinking about real estate. You sell homes. It is what it is. There's not much to talk about in terms of improvements. And to help with this, I like to bring back the features that we just came up with and also the differentiation that we just came up with and use that to help us to think about, well, how do the individual things that we do or provide help our target audience? And here's another tool that we can use is that there are just a few common ways that just about every product or service can help. And that is that we can often help to make something work better, make something easier, decrease the time it takes to do something, increase revenue or income, decrease costs or expenses, improve our customer's product, decrease the risk of something bad happening, improve visibility or access to information. So what we can do is we can look at each of our features or differentiation points and then compare that with those common areas of improvements and try to think to ourselves, does this particular thing that we do help in any of these? And if it does, then you can compose a few thoughts around what that improvement looks like that you can help to deliver. So in working with this client, here are some improvements that we came up with that she can help homeowners to sell their property quickly at the highest possible price. She can help to decrease the time they have to spend throughout the process of selling their home. She can help home sellers to focus more of their time on their move and their next chapter. And she can decrease the risk of their home being stuck on the market for an extended period of time. And she can help them to have the most up-to-date market research and comparative data. And the next step in the process is to think about pain points that we can make go away for this target audience. And our goal here is just to think of 3 to 6 pain points that we can talk about in our sales script. And if we can think of pain points that are specific to the target audience, that can make them even more attention grabbing and strong. And here's a trick that we can use is that we can actually bring back the improvements that we just came up with. For each improvement that we deliver, there's usually an opposite pain point that goes away. So we can look at each improvement and think, what is the opposite of that improvement? Or what problem goes away when we create that improvement? Or what problem starts to happen if that improvement is not provided or is provided and then taken away? So by going through these improvements one at a time and thinking about what's the opposite, we can come up with some pain points that homes are staying on the market longer and not selling for the prices that they used to. It can be time consuming to go through the process of selling a home. Selling a home can be a distraction from more important areas of life. Money is often lost the longer that a home sits on the market. It's critical to have quality market research and comparative data. And the next step in the process is to think about good questions to ask when we're talking with prospects and to include in our sales script. And you might agree with that 100%, but still not know what questions to ask. But here's something to keep in mind that will always provide you with good questions to ask, and that is by creating what I would refer to as pain questions. These are questions that try to identify if the prospect has the pain points that you can make go away. Not only does this always give you good questions to ask, but this will help you to identify if the prospect genuinely needs what you have and help you to create interest while you're talking to them. And the thing about creating good pain questions to ask is it's pretty easy because all we have to do is bring back those pain points that we just came up with, because for each pain point, there is a question that we can ask to see if the prospect has that pain point. So we can go through this list one at a time and just look at each pain point and say, well, what could I ask to see if the prospect has that pain point? And so going through this list one at a time, we can create these pain questions. How easy do you think it will be to sell your home? How concerned are you about the amount of time that you will have available to spend on selling your home? How concerned are you about the amount of distraction selling your home will be? How concerned are you about the amount of time that your home will sit on the market? How do you feel about your current level of access to market research and comparative data? So those are what I would refer to as pain questions. There's another category of questions that you should include in your sales script, and I refer to these as current state questions. These are questions that just try to identify what is the prospect doing in the area where you have something to offer or in the area where you're trying to sell something. So if you sold cars, current state questions would be, do you have a car today? What year is it? How many miles does it have on it? How's it running? Do you own it? Do you lease it? So creating current state questions for this target audience, I can't provide a fixed list of current state questions for all different salespeople, but what I can do is provide a list of common areas that you might want to think about asking about. So for example, you might want to currently ask if someone has purchased or is using what you sell, who they're working with, any details around current systems or processes, maybe people in the organization or people on the prospect side, current contracts or expiration dates, any sizing details, performance details, maybe the last time they looked at purchasing what you sell. So using that list, here are some current state questions for this sales script. Are you currently working with an agent? How long have you been living in your home? Have you made any updates or upgrades? How much did you spend on those? Are you looking to sell the property as is, or would you be open to making improvements or changes? What is the reason for the sale or the move? Where are you looking to move? What is the time frame that you are trying to sell or have the home sold? What is the balance on your mortgage? Do you have a second mortgage? What is the time frame that you're trying to sell or have the home sold? What price would you like to list your home for? How did you come up with that price? Are you the person responsible for making decisions regarding this area? And the last step in the process that I like to go through is to think of a past customer that you worked with that you could share as a customer example. And once you create a really short, quick customer example, you can include that in your sales script. And here's a process that you could go through to create your customer example. And it's step one is to think about a past customer. The next step is to maybe think about a problem they had that you helped to solve, what you sold them to solve that problem, and then think of 2 improvements that you helped to deliver with your product or by them working with you, 2 improvements that they were able to see. So going through that for this customer example, we worked with the owner of a 5-bedroom home. They needed to sell quickly. We were able to do this with our listing and marketing services. This not only helped them to sell their home very quickly, but they were able to get the exact price they were wanting. Again, the customer example would be unique to you, but hopefully this can give you some ideas of creating your customer example. But once we go through all those individual steps, each step gives us what we would refer to as a building block. So we have a value points building block, a pain points building block, a customer example building block. And once we have all those building blocks, it's extremely easy to create a variety of different sales scripts. We could create a cold call script, an appointment script. We could use those blocks to create an email campaign. We could use those blocks to create voicemail messages. as you can see, by having those individual blocks, we can create a lot of different documents and sales tools. And I'm not going to show you all of the different combinations of what we can create in this video for a couple reasons. One is I want to keep this video fairly short, but also because I've already done that in another video. If you want to see all of the different combinations that you can create with those different building blocks, go to this playlist, the Smart Sales System Sell Smarter, and then go to the video Writing Sales Scripts. So I'll include a link to that other video in the description, so be sure to check that out. But it was actually realizing that when you have those building blocks, you can create a lot of different documents that gave me the idea to create Sales Scripter. And that's actually how our software of Sales Scripter works, is that you go through our message brainstorming process that I just showed you in our software. And when you do that in our software, then the software creates all of those different building blocks, and you end up with all of the different combinations of sales scripts and email templates and email campaigns and voicemail scripts. And as I mentioned to you in the beginning of this video, we actually have the software loaded up with a lot of commonly sold products and services. This right here is actually our preloaded library. And as you can see, there are sales messages and sales scripts already created for HR and payroll processing, IT consulting, IT outsourcing, and there's many other products loaded up in here. There's also a whole folder for insurance related products. So if you sell any of these and you want to very quickly grab a sales script, be sure to check this out. But that is pretty much it. If you want more information, the best place to go is salesscripter.com. If you want more tips, there are plenty of videos on our website. There are also ebooks that you can download for free. If you have questions on the software of Sales Scripter, this is the best place to go. There are a lot of videos that demonstrate all of the different features of the software. If you want to contact us, this is the best place to do that. You can get our phone number, email address. There's a chat window as well. Thanks for being here. Hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.